Tell me a little bit about the history of your name.
Well, I think my mom picked my name when she read the book The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe from the Tales of Narnia.
And tell me a little bit about the style of your singing and how you started out. You started singing when you were very young.
I started singing when I was 3 years old for a nursery school that I went to, which was Irish, so we did St. Patrick's Day concerts every year. And once I left that school, every year after, they kind of invited me back. And I'd say I really got started, though, when I was 9, and I sang for the Miners Rally in my hometown.
What was that experience like? Yep. The question is, what was that experience like, getting on stage in front of a crowd for you? And how old were you? Just bring us back to that.
I was 9 years old, and I was like, wow, I never knew I could do this with my voice, because a lot of the older miners, retired miners, were crying, and everybody was standing up holding hands and singing along.
Is that when you knew you wanted to do this professionally?
Definitely.
Tell me a little bit about the album, Sweet as the Melody.
Sweet as the Melody just came out in October, and I had a lot of fun recording it. I had great people playing on the album: Natalie McMaster, Gordy Sampson, Fred Lavery, and some other amazing artists, and it was great.
Tell me about some of the songs on it.
Hold just a second. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I had my very first co-write on my album called The Dance You Choose, and it was written by myself and Bruce Guthrow. I had a lot of fun writing it with him. He's a big Canadian artist, and when I first met him when I was 9, he kind of took me under his wing. He actually produced my very first album called The Littlest Angel, which was a Christmas album, and he's just been a great help. He's like a mentor and my second father.
What is it like living in Glace Bay? Tell me a little bit about that, and how has that influenced your singing and your voice?
I like living in Glace Bay. It's a great little community. Everybody pretty much knows everybody. They're really, really friendly. You could like not know this person, you could have never met them in your life, and you could be walking down the street and they'll stop and you could have a conversation that'll go on for like an hour. And it's great living there. Sydney, the mall, all the shopping is 15 minutes away, and we're right on the ocean, so it's really nice.
Do you find time to be just a kid?
Definitely. Being a kid for me always comes first.
Now, I know you're a big basketball fan.
I love basketball.
Tell me a little bit how that all happened, what age?
It was pretty much around the same time of the Miners Rally. At my old elementary school, St. Anne's, there was only one sport for girls, and that was basketball, and I really wanted to play sports because, well, a lot of kids in my family were playing sports. My 3 cousins, Matthew, Carter, and Brandon, all played sports, and I would always be outside playing with them, and they actually introduced me to basketball, and I kind of got to know the rules and stuff. So I tried it at school, and I didn't really like it at first, but the more and more I played, the more and more I liked it, and now I love it.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about your parents, how they felt about you wanting to sing, and I know your dad's written some lyrics, correct?
No.
Oh, okay.
My mom and dad were very supportive and very loving, and I love them both very much. And Bruce actually wrote a song for myself and my dad called Love So Rare.
And tell me about that song, the lyrics.
I really like this song. My dad's a landscaper, and the lyrics kind of talking about how we love each other, but kind of through kind of like looking at life kind of point of view, because it talks about a seed kind of growing up into the flower sort of thing, and I really love it.
Tell me a little bit about some of your inspirations along the way. Who's inspired you as far as singing?
Definitely Bruce. Like I said before, he's like a mentor and a second father to me. Celine Dion has a beautiful voice. She can do pretty much anything with it. She'd be someone I'd love to do a duet with someday. And my parents both sang in the church choirs at school. I've always looked up to them, and my grandmother used to sing. So music is a big thing in our family. And anybody who doesn't sing probably plays the guitar or plays some kind of an instrument.
How do you like being outside of Canada, especially coming to New York and LA and these big cities? What were you most impressed with about New York City?
The buildings are huge. Compared to Glace Bay, it's like this huge city, and Glace Bay is like this big compared to New York, which is like this big.
And did you like it?
Yeah.
Could you see yourself living here?
Not now.
So when you go home, are you just like the hometown celebrity?
I guess so.
How does that feel?
Pretty cool, but when I'm home and I'm not singing, I just like everybody treating me like as and like any other kid, really.
So what other hobbies do you have?
Well, like I said before, I love to play basketball. I actually love soccer, and I swim in the summer. Just hanging out with my friends, having sleepovers, being in school, just pretty much having fun.
As far as the holidays coming, will you be able to be home and celebrate?
Yes.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Tell me a little bit more about the album.
Let's see. There's a lot of great songs on it. They kind of mix together a mixture of Celtic, folk, country, and pop. There's some slow songs, but there's some fast, just kind of pick you up kind of Celtic party songs. And it was great recording the album, and we had a lot of fun with it. I said I liked basketball before, and it was really neat because while I was recording, I actually had a basketball net out of the studio, so when I wasn't singing, while they were mixing some of the stuff, I could go outside and shoot some hoops.
Cool. Now you mentioned a little bit of a country influence. Do you have any favorite country artists?
Shania Twain I really like, and Paul Brandt, Toby Keith. There's lots of great artists out there.
Great. And as far as just time for being yourself, do you find that time to just be, you know, a kid with your friends?
Definitely.
Great. Anything else? Anything else going on? Anything for the holidays or?
PBS special.
Oh, yeah. Tell me a little bit about that. That's exciting. It's been recorded already.
I recorded a PBS special this summer in my hometown of Glace Bay, and it'll be aired sometime this December, and it was really great. I had an awesome house band behind me, and I had the Nova Scotia Symphony, and there was a choir from Sydney, which is about 15 minutes away from Glace Bay, and hopefully everybody enjoyed it as much as we did performing it and putting it on.
Great. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Good meeting you. Did we cover everything?
I think so.
Yeah.
And the only thing I was, if you want to ask her, she performed for the Queen last week.
That's right. I did forget that we're already at October 19th tomorrow. What was that like?
That was a lot of fun. It was really exciting. I wasn't really nervous, but I was really, really excited that I was at one point while I was singing to her, I kind of looked down at my dress and it was kind of moving, and it was really funny.
So you were nervous. She made you nervous. If you were to meet, you know, like a big pop star, who would make you really nervous? And is there anyone you idolize like that?
Well, I'd love to meet NSYNC. I've been listening to them for a while. My cousin got me hooked on them, and I really enjoy their voices. And they'd make me a little nervous.
Well, who knows? Maybe you guys will work together someday.
Maybe.
Thanks so much.
Was he the guy that you saw the other night? You could tell her she went to her first Broadway show the other night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
That was a lot of fun. I went to see Beauty and the Beast. It was gorgeous. It was amazing. Like, it was really, really neat. There was a lot of new Broadway debuts. A lot of people were making their first appearances in the Broadway. The two little boys who played Chip were both new at this. Jamie Lynn Siegler from The Sopranos this was her first night playing the role of Belle. The man who played Gaston, it was his very first night. And the original Mrs. Potts, when they first started the Broadway, she played for a year or so and she left, and this was her very first night back, reprising her role.
Oh, cool. So
It
that
was
must have
really
been
great.
very colorful on the stage, right?
Definitely, and it was really cool because one of the guys from NSYNC, who's living in New York right now, who's in the Broadway Rent, was actually right below us under the balcony.
Oh, Joey.
Yeah.
Joey Fatone. Great. That's cool. So you kind of rubbed elbows there for a minute. All right. Thanks, Aslin.
Thank you.